Hold up, 40 times? That's not possible. It is when this man was bayoneted 40 times but still survived. In World War II, there was a medic who saved countless lives. His name was Hiroo Onoda. He was a Japanese soldier who served in the 34th Infantry Regiment of the Imperial Japanese Army. He was sent to the Philippines to fight against the Americans, but he didn't know that Japan had already surrendered, so he kept on fighting even though there was no point in it. He went head-to-head with an American soldier and stabbed him 20 times with his bayonet. The Americans survived and managed to capture Hiroo. They took him to a hospital where he stayed for 3 months, recovering from his wounds. But when he left the hospital, he had no idea what had happened. He thought that he was still at war. Hiroo was then sent back to the place where he had been captured so that the Americans could get information out of him. But instead of giving them any information, he just kept on yelling, "Long live the Emperor!" The Americans got so pissed that they started torturing him. They hit him with a stick and pulled out his fingernails, but Hiroo still wouldn't talk. And then one of the American soldiers had an idea. He thought that if they pretended to be Japanese soldiers, then Hiroo would be tricked into talking. And this actually worked. Hiroo started telling them all sorts of things about the Japanese army, and then one of the American soldiers asked him, "Why don't you surrender?" And Hiroo replied, "I am surrendering." And then the American soldiers were like, "Dude, we are the Americans, not the Japanese. You have been tricked." But Hiroo didn't care. He said that he didn't want to be taken prisoner by the Americans. So the Americans got really pissed and started beating him up again. And then one of them stuck a bayonet in his neck and twisted it. This would normally be enough to kill someone. But somehow, Hiroo survived. Then another soldier came in and saw what had happened. He was shocked and immediately called for a medic. When the medic arrived, he checked Hiroo's pulse and found that he was still alive. He then bandaged his wounds and gave him some morphine. The soldier who had stabbed him asked the medic, "What are you doing? He needs to die." But the medic replied, "He is alive, so I'm going to save his life." And this is when the medic found out something shocking. Hiroo had been bayoneted in the neck, chest, stomach, and legs, and yet he still had a pulse. The medic tried to keep him alive, but unfortunately, Hiroo died a few hours later. After Hiroo's death, the Americans found out that he had been bayoneted 40 times, and yet he had still managed to survive. They were shocked and amazed by this, and they gave him a proper burial. And now you know how this man survived being bayoneted 40 times. But do you know how many bullets it takes to kill a human? Click here to find out.